Hi DIYers, Joe here from Alarm Grid, and today we're going to talk about how to reset the installer code on a Lyric security system. Now there's two methods you can use to reset the installer code. One is going through the system screen, getting into system programming and updating the code right there. Another way you can do it is that if your system is monitored, your security company or your monitoring company, they'll be able to update the code for you remotely and push it down to your system. As long as your system has a Wi-Fi or cellular connection that's active, they should be able to access the system and push that programming change down to it. For now though, let's take a look at how to access programming and update the code. So if we take a look at our Lyric right here, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Security and then click on Tools. Now with this Lyric system, as is the case on many other Honeywell systems, the installer code out of the box, the default installer code, is 4112. So at the Tools menu, we're going to enter 4112. Now, if you find that the installer code isn't allowing you into the system, if the Lyric was previously monitored, there's a chance that the monitoring company may have enabled a feature on it called Lyric Lock. Now, what Lyric Lock does is it prevents any end users from getting into programming on the Lyric system. It prevents any 6 devices that are programmed to the system from being removed from the system, or even new devices being added to the system, and it also prevents the system from being taken over from another security company. Some dealers like to use this as it prevents anybody from altering what they have installed in a customer's home. We don't ever enable Lyric Lock, as we feel that end users should have full access to every programming menu on their system. And if you do monitor with us, you'll never have to worry about your panel getting Lyric locked. If you do have a panel that is Lyric locked and you want to get it monitored by another alarm company, the company that enabled the Lyric Lock on the panel, they're actually going to have to disable it to allow it to be monitored by another company. If they're fickle and they won't disable the feature, there's nothing you can really do, and you'll just have to get a new system, unfortunately. But if we go back to the Lyric, you can see that we're in programming mode right here. So we're going to click on Program. Then right up at the top, you see where it says Installer Code. So if we click on that, this displays the current installer code on the system. The first thing you're going to want to do to update it is actually click the Clear button. You see that existing code right here is the default. If we click the Clear button, it drops the code. So now we're just going to go ahead and re-enter the default code, 4112, click on Done, and that's it. Now it's updated. One thing that may happen, or you may notice, is you may accidentally enter the master code when you're trying to access the installer code programming. It's a common thing to do, and it can be frustrating. If you find that you're clicking on Tools and you're getting this menu instead that has Users, Events, Advanced Keypad, this is actually the master code programming, and you won't be able to update the installer code through this menu. The only way you can update the installer code is through the installer code programming. The only way to get into that on the system is to do Tools and enter the installer code that's programmed. That's how to reset the installer code on a Lyric security system. If you did like the video, feel free to subscribe. If you want to be notified about future videos whenever we do post them, click the notification button below. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, 888-818-7728, or send us an email to support@alarmgrid.com. Thanks for visiting, and we hope you have a great day.